while I'm making videos, I want to make one more. And just because it's something that interests me, and I hope you find value in it, but um, it's one of those things that people have argued about, and it goes back to my interest in philosophy and in human psychology and the brain and the mind and everything. And I'll link an article down below where you can read the original story. The scientists said that they think they found where the center of your mind is at, where you actually live in your head. Okay? And they said it was a part of like the very lower part, the most primitive part of your brain, kind of at the end of that, sort of. Um, but I think we can figure this out because I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I've done some experiments, and I want to do it, and then I want to see if other people do it and they get the same results that I do. Because if you do, that's kind of fascinating of where you actually your consciousness kind of lives in your head. Okay, so I just want to go through the experiment. I want to show you what I find, and I'd be fascinated to see if other people find the same thing or not. So, when you think of where you think from and where you perceive from in your brain, where your thoughts come from, and kind of where you speak from, because you know it's not really in your eyes and it's not really in your mouth. This kind of things are sort of like forward. This is the very front of your skull and your face and this whole your whole head. But if you think about it, your consciousness kind of sets behind your eyes, probably right about in there somewhere. Okay, and it's behind your eyes because your eyes. What you see is kind of like a big movie screen that doesn't really kind of have a sharp edge to it in front of you, right? So what you do from there is you want to bring your fingers back and just touch the edge of your eyes, just about level with where it seems like your consciousness is in your brain. And then you want to move your fingers back to where it feels like that your fingers are beside where you think from and you really perceive from, right? Because like this, it feels like it's above you, right? Up here, you touch top of your head. And then, but if you touch down here, even if you touch the lower part of your jaw and the lower part of your head there, that feels like that's below you, right? But if you start from just about the eyes, just about level, and you work your way back to where it feels like your fingers are on either side of where you think and where your consciousness lies in your head. If you're anything like me, that's just like a little bit right here, just about at the top of where your earlobes attached to your head, right? There's this little spot, this little circle right in here where your consciousness is kind of in between where your fingers are, right? They're not below it, they're not above it, but they're kind of beside it. And I would be fascinated to know if other people would do this experiment. You don't have to close your eyes. I don't have my eyes closed, but I can sense that the fingertips right here are just to the sides of actually where my consciousness is in my brain. And that's fairly high up, I would say. I would say that that's not like way down where the lower extremities of your brain, more primitive extremities of your brain are. But this is where I sense it, and I would love to know where other people sense it. So if you see this video, do this experiment, and then make note. Post a post down below so everybody can see it, because this is one of those things that fascinates me, and I don't think that the scientists quite have it right, at least not as far as where we sense it is. There may be some process that happens there that's connected to it or kind of makes it run, but that doesn't really feel like where it's at. So tell me what you think.